Greetings! Welcome to Dungeons and GURPS. In this video I would like to show you some of my conversions of exotic D&D races. You all know the D&D elves and dwarves, halflings and orcs, but there are many more races. Some are bland and some are very interesting. Some are easy to convert to GURPS and some are not. And the latter are what I want to talk about. The first race is the Warforged. These sentient, living constructs were originally built as mindless war machines, but developed self-awareness as a side effect of the arcane experiments that sought to make them the ultimate weapons of destruction. While they were created for the Eberron campaign setting, they can be easily adapted to any other setting. For example, in my setting, they were created as soldiers and law enforcement agents in Ktl, a city of refugees on the elemental plane of air. The most striking feature is, of course, the fact that the Warforged are constructs. In D&D they are not simple constructs, but living constructs, meaning that they could still benefit from potions, magical healing, and could partially be affected by metabolic hazards. I think that these decisions were made to make them feel more normal, as being a full-on construct is very beneficial in D&D, and it is in GURPS too. However, some parts had to be nerfed to avoid giving the Warforged a level adjustment. We do not have such things in GURPS, so I suggest making the Warforged proper constructs, and if we are not satisfied with the result, adjust some traits. What traits are appropriate? First, the Warforged do not have to eat, drink, sleep or breathe. We apply doesn't eat or drink, doesn't sleep and doesn't breathe. That's already a whopping 50 points. They are machines, so they should have immunity to metabolic hazards. They are not made of flesh and bone, but they aren't homogeneous either. So let's add injury tolerance, no blood and unliving. I think they should also have pressure support 1 and temperature tolerance 4. The Warforged also are more resistant to damage, so let's give them DR 2. However, let's not give them cannot wear armor. Why wouldn't they be able to? In addition, unliving beings in GURPS tend to have much more HP than living beings. Let's add HP plus 10. What about the disadvantages? They lack the sense of smell and taste, so let's add no sense of smell and taste. Numb is another appropriate disadvantage. And of course, they do not heal naturally, so let's add unhealing total. Note that this still allows for mundane and magical repairs. Warforged are also said to be heavy, so let's add the cannot float quirk. They have ferrous metals in their bodies, so let's also give them affected by magnetism quirk. They are constructs, so they do not age, but wear out with time. This is the not subject to aging feature. They are not pressurized. This is the not pressurized feature. Obviously they cannot reproduce sexually, so they have the sterile feature. And they do not have any fatigue points. This is the not subject to fatigue feature. The resulting racial template is 87 points, which is a lot. While this is an expensive template, it does provide the character with some unique benefits that are nothing to sneeze at. If you do not like this, you can lean more into the living construct traits. For example, you could replace immunity to metabolic hazards with resistant to metabolic hazards plus 8 for 15 points, and reduce their HP bonus. I think that allowing them to benefit from potions and magical healing should be a free feature. Personally, I don't like this. I think making them reliant on repairs and alchemical oils make them more unique. The artificial nature of the Warforged makes them very customizable. A Warforged made from stronger materials would have higher DR. Extra heavy plating would give an even higher DR, possibly with cannot wear armor. Want to have spikes on the body? Just add short spines or long spines. A shoddily made Warforged might have the maintenance disadvantage. An integrated grappling hook could be binding with retractable. Arm blades could work as long talons with switchable. You could even make an arm cannon with innate attack. There's really a lot of cool stuff you can do. If you remember all the Eberron books, you probably know that there are many different Warforged models. Alongside the normal ones there are Warforged Scouts, Warforged Chargers, Warforged Titans, Psyforged, Warcraft Warforged, and some others. Something like Warforged Scout is very simple. Just reduce its size modifier, give it a steep penalty, a basic move penalty, and reduce its HP bonus. I'll show you the template on the screen. Okay, let's take a look at another exotic race. And who can be more exotic than the Dvati? Dvati are a strange race of humanoid creatures found in small enclaves scattered throughout the world and across the plains. All Dvati are born identical twins, with the pair sharing a single soul between them. Dvati lore holds that their souls are so powerful that a single mortal vessel is too weak to contain them. Thus, their minds occupy two bodies. How do you make a character have two bodies at once? I remember seeing Chrome on the forums, posting a build made with the ally advantage, with a few cosmic enhancements thrown in, but that build was about a single player controlling two characters. This is a bit different. The twins are literally identical. They have the same skills and traits. How do we do it? GURPS has an advantage that I have never seen used or even talked about much: duplication. If you add always on, then the twin will always be present and you won't be able to merge the bodies. I think that a -20% value for always on is appropriate. After all, you have to take care of both bodies, equip both bodies and all that. Duplication already has built-in punishing mechanics for losing a duplicate, but the Dvati are said to simply die shortly after one of the bodies dies. I think it would be fair to give them weakness to twins' death that would deal 1d points of injury per 30 minutes. I think that this can be categorized as occasional, so this weakness would cost -5 points. It would still give you some time to maybe resurrect the twin. The source material doesn't say anything about a mental link, but I think that giving the Dvati the special rapport advantage would be a very flavorful choice. Dvati can also see in the dark and live longer than humans, so let's give them extended lifespan 1 and infravision. But you know what? Let's also give the Dvati the teamwork perk with regards to their twins. I think that this is a super cool perk that will make the combat for a Dvati player much more fun. You can be a team on your own. The finalized racial template ended up being not that expensive, very much within the normal point value for racial templates. I really like this race and I would love to either try it out myself or have a player play one. And let's do one more race. The Aduja are a plant people that is even more ancient than the elves. They taught the elves many things about the natural world and retreated into the deepest forests, only emerging from seclusion not long ago. The first thing that we should pay attention to is the fact that they are plants. Plants have to breathe, but they breathe through their entire body. This doesn't breathe with oxygen combustion. GURPS Template Toolkit 2 races tells us to beat photosynthesis as doesn't eat or drink, with food only and accessibility only with daily sunlight. A day without sunlight equals to 3 missed meals. There are other options, for example GURPS Supers does it with dependency on sunlight. As plants, the Aduja have immunity to metabolic hazards and injury tolerance, homogeneous, no blood. They live much longer than the humans and have extended lifespan too. They sleep less though, having less sleep too. They have night vision 5 just like the elves. Being plants, they can regenerate and regrow lost body parts, but only in direct sunlight. This gives them regeneration slow and regrowth, limited with accessibility only in direct sunlight. Their green skin lets them blend in easily in forested environments, giving them a limited camouflage forest perk. Also, they emit pheromones that they represent with Charisma 1 with smell based. Physically, they are weaker than humans, having a -1 racial penalty to strength. they wear their emotions on their sleeves, hate lying and expect others only to tell the truth. This gives them easy to read, gullibility and truthfulness. I also decided to give them vulnerability to fire to reduce their point value. I could have used fragile, flammable, but this one gives more points back. As you can see, we ended up with another expensive template. Technically, like the Warforged, I should have given the Aduja a huge bonus to HP due to their homogeneous nature, but that would make them much more expensive. Also, regrowth is usually considered to be overpriced, and halving its cost is a very common house rule. Overall, this is a pretty interesting race. And that's it for this video. I might go over some other races like that in the future. If you have any suggestions or ideas, feel free to post them in the comments. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.